Here we go. It is recording, so that's a good sign. Okay, so today is November 6th. I have 3 learners who joined me for my live lesson, and today we are going to talk about note-taking, okay, which is probably a huge portion of what you do as a learner. And even as a grown-up, I find that note-taking is very useful. It keeps me kind of organized. I should be using this more, but instead I like to write things down a lot and see them. I don't know, do you guys, are you fans of this, or do you guys write things down?
Yeah, I keep all my notes in my phone.
You keep a lot of notes in your phone? Okay. Emily, are you more? Oh, sorry.
With pen and paper, you actually you actually trigger different pathways in your brain, so you actually are more likely to remember it.
When you
than
write it
if you
down.
think about it.
I totally agree. Yeah, just the idea of writing it down, looking at it, seeing it. I do sticky notes. Anybody a fan of sticky notes? Post-it notes?
I don't much anymore.
Yeah, Emily's a fan. Yeah, I have, you should see my desk. I have too many sticky notes. And actually there's a cartoon in here about sticky notes. It kind of makes fun of me. Okay, so here we go. So we're talking about note taking, and this just progresses. Dylan, did you try that gaming thing at all for planning and organizing and stuff? Or did you
Yeah, I
not get?
remember I looked at it the day that we had the thing. It seemed quite interesting. I mean, I didn't get involved really
I wasn't
much.
sure if you followed through with it at all. I was going to ask you how it went, but that's okay.
No, I looked it over and I went through it and looked at what it is and how it works and stuff. It seems pretty cool. I think I would like it.
Okay, so just something to come up. Maybe I'll come back to that a different day. I'll just remind everybody. Okay, so here's 2 little cartoons. This one's a little fuzzy, but this one says order more sticky notes. So there was a sticky note to order more sticky notes, and that's kind of my life sometimes, I feel. It says whatever happened to students taking good notes in class, and I am guilty of this myself. You can see them with their phones and their cameras. They just take pictures now, and I'll do that too. Do you guys need to remember something and you take a picture of it in your phone and then you try to come back to it? I don't know if anyone ever does that. I do that or I take a screenshot of something that I need,
Yeah.
then I'll come back to it later. So that's one of my big things. Okay, so this is kind of cute. So I feel like sometimes when I was in school, this is what some kids would do. Pretending to write something down. They would write nothing of importance down and just kind of sit there and maybe act like they were writing something down, which doesn't really help you remember or learn. Okay, so our learning target for today is I can organize my notes using either outlining or the Cornell note-taking methods. So we're going to talk a little bit about those. Okay, so Skylar kind of said already, but what are some benefits of taking notes? He said that you're better able to remember if you write something down. Okay, what are some other benefits of taking notes?
I got one.
Okay, Dylan, what do we got?
Well, I mean, if you take notes, then it helps you to study. So, for example, every time before I take a test or a quiz, I always look back through my notes before I start to refresh my memory.
Exactly. That's exactly. And even if I write something down, I come back to it. Exactly. It refreshes your memory. You can go over it a couple of times. Even before math tests, my son's like, we just have a math test tomorrow. I don't need to study. I'm like, yes, you do. So yeah, he goes back and he looks at the different examples he's done, and it really helps. Okay. Emily, anything to add? Any benefits you can think? You can even chat in the chat box. Anything you want to add? Okay. Okay, yeah, a couple of times. There are people who actually will take notes in school and then they'll rewrite their notes. They said there's a lot to rewriting your notes after you take them. And then some people will actually, yes, exactly. And some people actually, we're gonna talk about this, they draw pictures and stuff. Like some people are actually very artsy with their notes. Emily, are you artsy with your notes at all? Do you draw little things? Yeah, me, I'm just straightforward. And some people like the visuals. And I can't, I never drew, I never did that, but I was very straightforward with my notes. But talk about some different ways today to take some, and you might actually like to try these. So it says a good note taker will increase his or her comprehension and retention skills. You understand things better and remember them longer. Next, if you apply good note-taking skills, you should be able to create an outline of what is meaningful and things related to other things and concepts. So it builds upon each other, kind of just like the Connects U lessons are building on each other. Just like when you're in a history class, you learn, what led up to the Civil War, and then Reconstruction. You learn how everything ties together. And if you have those notes, you can easily kind of see that. It makes your learning a little bit easier for you. Okay, so I found this. I used to watch this show. It's called Mad Men. I don't know if anyone's ever watched it. I actually never finished it. But this is a little clip for it. It says the faintest or weakest ink is better than the best memory. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll remember that. I'm like, no, I will not remember that. Okay, so here's a little video clip.
You ready? Tom's expecting us.
I've got nothing.
What a relief. Mine's garbage too.
No, I had something. Something incredible. But I lost it. I didn't write it down.
Oh, I hate that.
It might have been the best idea I ever had. I did everything. I talked to Achilles. I spent last night recreating every detail of the evening, hoping it would come back. You know how it is. There was nothing, and then there was it, and now it's nothing again.
I'm so sorry. How do you talk to Achilles?
He's a janitor with a very bad memory. You know what the Chinese say? The faintest ink is better than the best memory.
Okay. So do you guys ever say, I'm going to remember something, and then you completely forget?
All the time.
All the time. Or even I'm in like a train of thought and I'm like, I just completely lose my train of thought. I'm like, I should have wrote that down. I had to tell something to Mrs. Murtha today and she wasn't at her desk. And when she came back, I completely forgot what I had to tell her. And I think it was pretty important. So I'm hoping it comes back to me. But I should have wrote myself a sticky note or something to remember. But this is an ad agency, and this is what Mad Men's about. They come up with, that next big ad, and he had it and he lost it, which is really quite sad with this type of job. Okay. Usually I don't show you 2 videos, but this one's only like 2 minutes. So I want you to watch this, and while you're watching this, which of these methods of note-taking do you think is going to work best for you and why? Okay, so like 2 minutes here. Think about which method do you think is going to work the best. Okay, so Dylan, what method do you use now, or what method do you think you'd like to use there?
I've pretty much all my life just used the sentence method. I mean, my notes are just, I mean, they're really not organized, to be honest. They're kind of just, I write everything down, like
Yeah.
everywhere. The whole page is used up, and it's just,
Does it make sense to you and does it work?
yeah, it's funny because anyone else would look at it and be like, this isn't organized at all. Some of your notes are written horizontally. And I'm like, yeah, but there's a reason for that.
Okay.
So
Okay,
I can look at it and be like, the notes that are going down the page are like the most important. And if I need other facts like in there, I'll just write them up the side of the page.
Oh, wow.
And it doesn't look organized, but to me it is. It's
It
the
makes
most
sense.
important stuff is descending, and the least important stuff is ascending.
Hey, that works. Okay, Skylar, what are you doing with your notes?
For me, it's more or less the outline method, but when I take notes, a lot of times I use it to try and reteach myself it, or as if I'm teaching someone else something.
Mm,
In that way, as if I can communicate it, I'll be able to remember it.
Okay, yeah, so if you look at your notes, you should be able to share them. Okay, that makes sense. Emily, do you want to type what method you're using? That'd be awesome. Myself, I do more the sentence writing or the outline as well. I'm not the visual person coming out with the mind map. And I thought the one with the chart was interesting though, with the dates, like how they set that up. And then they have like the people, the important dates, like for history. I think that might actually work pretty well.
That looked awesome. I'm gonna start using that, I think.
Yeah, if anyone's in their history class, yeah, I think that would be something to definitely try for sure. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, I always did that too. I guess I just felt like I was going to miss something if I didn't have the notes, or when the teacher talked in class, I tried to write down exactly what he said or she said. But yeah, so like I said, try the history one and let me know how it's working. But yeah, like the people and everything, it looked pretty neat there. Okay, some other popular note-taking methods, visual aids, for sure. Yeah, that's good too. And Emily, you said you rewrite them sometimes too? Go back and kind of, yeah, make them a little bit more precise. So that would be something too. If you do like to write all the notes down, another way to go back and help you study is to kind of rewrite them maybe in a better note-taking form where you can put the visuals in or put it in a chart. You can use symbols and abbreviations, and you can underline key points. That's what I would do too when I did my notes. I'd always underline, or I'd put like a box around things that I thought maybe were important. A highlighter, got my highlighter out sometimes. Okay. Okay, does anyone have another note-taking strategy they want to share? Or we pretty much went over that. Anything else you can think of that might be unique that could benefit the class? Something, even if it's like something you think is silly, but it works for you. Like I said, I kind of put a box around something or I highlight it. Emily said she sometimes goes back and rewrites it. Dylan's just a fan of writing it all out. I'm sorry, Dylan, go ahead.
Sometimes I circle things. I mean, because like my notes are just, for anyone besides me, they'd be impossible to read. That's how just, but sometimes like when I have more important facts, I do either circle them or bold them or underline them or.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, I will write in all caps sometimes if it's like super important too. I'll write in all capital letters just to kind of make things stick out a little bit. Beautiful. Okay, so let the note taking begin. Okay, so for this week, one of your assignments in here is going to be to try the Cornell method, to try and do what they did. Sketching little pictures helps. Yes. Oh, that's good too. Emily can like pull it out of her notes. You have the visual and you pull it out when you take the test. That's good too. My husband does that too. He's a very visual person, and he can actually, his memory works very different than mine. He can pull, like he can see the page in his head and kind of pull it out of the notes and stuff. So maybe Emily, you have a little bit of photographic memory going on, so you can see it and pull it out. So yeah, so please, try a method that works for you. This week we're going to try doing the Cornell method a little bit, but if you want to try also maybe setting up the history one with the dates and the people and what happened. But yeah, try some different methods this week. Maybe you'll find one that works a little bit better for you, and we'll share out next week when we meet for our live lesson. Okay, and you can tell me if it works too during our check-ins next Tuesday. Okay, so any questions, guys? Can you think of anything? I'm actually kind of excited. So share some of the notes. Maybe even send me a picture on Hangouts, guys, as you do them. Maybe you came up with a really cool thing. So, and maybe you'd like to share it with other kids. You can put it on the Hangout if you have found a good method that works. We do like to share. I steal ideas from teachers all the time. We share whatever you want to call it. If somebody has a good idea, don't keep it to yourself. So post it in the Hangout. If Emily has some really awesome notes and she has all the visuals going everywhere, she can take a picture and share out, and maybe you guys will find one that works better for you than you're using now, because it's always our ideal world. We always want to improve, find something better that saves you time and helps you. Okay, so thank you guys. I hope to see you back here at 1 then today for Mrs. Salyard's lesson. I think it'll be fun. We've never had an assembly before, so I'm actually super excited. And I'm hoping that all of my learners who I have that have me for history have all of their work caught up so that my train starts moving. Okay, so I don't like to lose. Okay, so I will see you guys hopefully at 1. Everyone else have a wonderful week, and thanks for joining me. Okay, bye guys.
All right.